Yes, sir.
You're a senior.
Yes.
0-3 going to Shootout today. Now, how does it feel to get a win?
This is a great feeling. I mean, I wish was able to have more, from freshman year to now, but I'm not gonna look back in the past. I'm gonna enjoy this one because this one feels real good, especially home court. Last time in fifth third for both teams, for the new one. I'm definitely excited. I don't really know what to say. I'm ready to jump out of my chair for real, but I'm not.
That three-pointer you hit near the end of the game, hit in front of the rim and bounced in. Is that just a nice touch?
Well, yeah, shooter's roll, but I had it in my mind I was gonna shoot it. I know probably on the scouting report people have me as a Hezo drive guy or just get to the basket, and I seen everybody load up, and he took a step back before I had took off, and I just wanted to, I don't know, something in my mind. I knew I was gonna shoot it, just get it on the rim. That's coach said, get it above the rim and the ball do the rest.
You saw it hit the rim?
Yeah, I saw it hit the rim. I knew it was gonna drop after that. The way it hit it, it was either gonna go in, but it hit the side, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of more into the rim than on the outside, and it dropped for me.
Of balls that you've shot off the rim, how does this rank compared to the Purdue one? Is that?
I don't know, the Purdue one. This one is lit. Like, this one's like a 10. Purdue like a 12. You know what I'm saying? Because that one was NCAA sophomore year and put us in OT, to make it to the second round versus a great team again. So, this one's 100% and then the other one's 110.
Gary, you didn't score last year against these guys. It seemed like you came out tonight really aggressive. Just talk about how you guys dominated them on the glass and how much of an emphasis that was.
Our thoughts of last year is, as we're prepping this week, was, constantly coaches reminding us how physical they were and how many times I didn't touch the ball. So, I just wanted to try to catch it, rather than spraying out to the guys to shoot threes, but I just wanted to make sure I was able to catch it on the low block and just, if they didn't come trap or dig hard enough, to just score.
I know Mick emphasized to us when we talked to him the other day what a great rebounding team Xavier is. I'm sure you heard that all week. How did you counter that?
Just being ready, just finding someone and just putting a body on them, and don't let them manhandle you. And I think we did a good job of that, each person individually, making sure we held our own on whoever we were assigned to on every possession.
You're pointing to some stats there and smiling. Was there one in particular that caught your eye?
Kyle Washington, 4 blocks. That's
big
the
time.
That's the one right there. 4 blocks. That's big time.
8 turnovers as a team. That's controlling, each possession.
Have you ever seen 30 to 4 second chance points before for you guys?
No, I haven't. No. But that showed the rebounding game. Plus what? Plus 9?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
If you were guarding Lewis a lot of the time, what was it like trying to defend him tonight?
Well, he got in the groove early. He's a good shooter. We let him get started early with a couple easy ones. So that just made it to where his tough ones he was still able to knock him down. It's just want to make it hard for him, make sure he don't get it off, try to make him drive. But it's just really want to try to just make everything hard for him, nothing easy.
So when you see a guy shooting like that, not missing, he has 23 points, whatever, he had 26 in the first half. How frustrating is that, not being able to stop him?
Well, it was frustrating in the first half because we felt like we gave him some easy ones. Like, we gave him some corner open ones, some top of the key ones, just so he can get going. So in the second half, when we were to the contest, he was still making them. So I feel like we just need to cut down on leaving one of the best shooters on the opposite team. Like, we need to just make sure we don't leave him open as much early in the game or throughout the game.
Gary, you've been here 3 years now. What's it like to beat them? You've gotten a sense of how big this game is in town to people, but what's it mean to you guys? Troy mentioned how excited he was. How about you?
It's big, to kind of beat the guys across the street. Growing up, you always had those kids that you always wanted to get your guys and go against their guys. So, it's a big win, against the top 20 team. It was a great test for us to know that we can, a guy to get hot like that and us to, make a adjustment to, still get the victory. So, we can't allow it to happen again, but hopefully nobody else goes for 40 on us. But it's a great team win. It means a lot, especially for our seniors to get their first win against Xavier.
What was it it like at halftime when you're down 8? How did you come out differently in the second half? What went on at halftime?
It was just we weren't playing hard enough. You know, we were, like the guy said, we were giving some of those guys open threes. You know, Blue got started off of just being wide open. Nobody, I think the first one was me, and just knowing that we can make an adjustment to stop, you know, try to contain someone, and keeping the other guys from, you know, having opportunities for threes. So, you know, knowing that in halftime that it's something that can be changed. It was a good positive input we all can talk about.
Troy, that's how Sharon's impact in that second half really gave you guys a lift and was able to do some things against their zone and their man-to-man that kind of sparked the offense.
Teddy is a great player. I don't think they talked about him as much on that scouting report as what we've seen tonight. When he got the ball, they kind of was ISO 1-on-1. Let him get to the cup, big body. We know that he can score, and then if they help, it was to kind of kick it. You know, try to draw a double team if they don't help score the basketball. And once after the first 1 or 2 times, he got confidence. He was making shots. He was getting fouled, had an and one, and then I knew it was rolling from there. As a team, we tried to gas him up. I seen the bench gas him up when he got the and one. We was throwing up strength for him, just giving him confidence because regardless of what game it is, and if you can play, you can play. And I noticed he took this one personal, just like Bev took this one personal, being from Cincinnati. That's the first time I ever heard him talk trash. You know, so I knew that he was feeling some type of way and had a lot of confidence. And you know, once we seen it, we just tried to give him a better, you know, to let him know that his team is behind him, and you know, you can do what you got to do to get a bucket, and that's what he did. And he showed that he could play.
Gary, Chris Mack talked about having a hard time matching your guys' intensity tonight. Is the offensive rebounding where that shows up? Your guys' desire to beat Xavier this year, is that where that shows up, that desire?
Yeah, definitely. Because when you can get second shots, it's really it wear the team down. Because you know we've been on the other end where you know you play so hard and get a stop, and then you don't come up with the ball, and a guy like Jacob knocks down a three. It just tears the team down, and we kept going. Our guys just kept going to the glass. So, you know, it's a thing that has to happen all the time for us to have a edge along with our defense. You know, as far as steals and block shots. You know, offensive rebound is just a perk for us to add on to our how to get a win.
I thought the game was a tale of two halves. Second half, Trayvon Blewett dominated us in the first half. Second half, we held them 27% from the field. We had 20 deflections in the second half, and that's just how we look at things. Our offense was pretty consistent both halves. We just were able to finally play some D in the second half, and change the game, and give ourselves a chance to win. But proud of the guys; they stepped up their intensity level. You know, I thought. We didn't really make any adjustments at halftime other than try to play a whole lot harder on defense. We don't see guys make the shots that Blewett was making on every night, and I think sometimes it causes some slippage for us. It's a concern going forward, so we've got to stay sharp and make sure that doesn't happen. Just you're not always going to be able to overcome a team making 15 threes, but. Got to give my players a lot of credit. They did what they had to do to win the game in a lot of different ways. Different guys made a lot of plays tonight.
How were they getting so open in the first half?
We were away from them, let them shoot.
I mean,
we left them when we weren't. No, we left some guys. We left he and McCure and Blewett times when we shouldn't have. And what I'm trying to say to you is we have some breakdowns against other teams that don't make us pay quite the way Xavier was making us pay. And that's what happened. You know, how were they open? We left them.
They came in here, Xavier, Chris, and players talking about how you basically killed them on the glass, rebounding, etc. Did you?
I mean, we were +9. I mean, they had 13 offensive. We had 19. Now you can look and see the second chance points is 30-4, but they got offensive rebounds. Our second half defense was the difference. I mean, they shot 27% in the second half. That was they only had 3 2-point baskets in the second half. That was the difference in the game. That and obviously we got a lot of good players. And I've been trying to tell you guys all year, that we got guys can make plays. We got different guys can hurt you. Different guys can carry us at different points in the game. There was a point in the game where I thought Jaron Cumberland totally carried us and changed the game. Gary and Kyle at different times, and obviously Jacob had 21. So I was really happy to see Jacob go to the offensive glass. But I would tell you my opinion, the offensive rebounding is a tenet of them playing 1-3-1. It's a weakness of that defense. If you don't turn it over against that defense, it's tough to rebound out of that defense. I played it in high school, so I know. Not like I ever got a rebound.
Does this win give your team more confidence, Mick, or does it just kind of reaffirm what this team is capable of when it's the way it does tonight?
Well, I talked to them about what we're capable of when we play defense, because I've told them from jump that offensively I think we're going to continue to get better the more we play together, with Kyle and Jaron incorporated, and in our style of play is much freer, much more open floor. We don't run a lot of plays because we have the guys. We've practiced really hard at teaching them how to play and giving them structure based on floor spacing, not on calling plays. When you play that way, you got to commit to it, and it's not always pretty, but you get better as the year goes on. So I'm hoping that pays off for us. But I think the key for us is to be able to be who we were on offense, but continue to play Cincinnati defense. Because we got some nice guys out there. Justin Jackson not on this team now. Some guys got to channel their inner Justin Jackson sometimes. But Nasir Brooks gives it. He gave that to us. But I thought the guys really stepped up their level of intensity and their level of toughness in the second half. And that's what gave us a chance to win the game.
What does it mean to you personally as a team to beat them after losing 3 straight? And I know you'll say thanks for reminding me.
No, it's just, you got to win at home in this series. 2 years ago, I was sitting at home eating pizza, and we blew a game late that we should have won. So, or it'd be 2-2 in the last 4 years. But you got to win. The games like this, it's just like conference. You better beat SMU here, because going down there is going to be World War III. You're going to be underdog. So, I don't really think too much about it, to be honest with you, other than everybody driving me crazy about it all the time. I try to stay focused on doing my job, developing my team. But it's nice to win. I think, like I've said this over and over, the game is so much bigger, better than it used to be. Like Doc was asking questions. There was a time in the 80s where neither team was going to the NCAA tournament, and the highlight of the season in Cincinnati was this game. It's not, it's still a great game, but for different reasons. We got 2 real programs. Both teams are going to the big dance. So, it's a different era in this game, which is a good thing. Go ahead, Mike.
What was it about tonight that Nasir was able to make such a contribution for you?
He's been. I got full confidence in him on the defensive end. He had 2 big offensive rebounds again against the 1-3-1. But defensively, I got full confidence in him. He's as effective as a freshman defender as I've coached in a long time. Usually big men that are freshmen really struggle on the defensive end. He moves his feet extremely well on the defensive end for a guy his size. He understands how to use his size without fouling. But he's got a serious future in basketball. He really does. Because he's a guy that was underrated. Darren Savino did a great job recruiting him. He was another guy on our team like Gary Clark. I don't know how many stars he had, but he's a big-time player. Pro scouts know who he is. I can tell you every guy that's been through our practices, they know who he is. It's just why I say on our team, like Quadri Moore didn't get to play tonight because they play a 4-guard offense. It's hard to get him in there. But when you're on a good team, it's hard. Who you got to be better than, and then it becomes matchups and who you're playing. And I didn't want to slide into the zone against them the way Blewett was shooting the ball, so it was hard for me to get quad any minute.